The following is a Joel Michalec production. The following episode of the Joel Michalec Show takes place between 8 p.m. and 9 p.m.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Joel Michalec Show featuring the lovely Sharon.
The lovely Sharon.
Hi, lovely Sharon.
Hi.
How are you?
Lovely Joel.
Super Joel.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got confused.
I'm sorry.
Super Joel.
Code name Mr. Brix. B-R-I-X. Like the Brix cups? Brix cups are these two-part cups used to measure soda output, soda syrup versus the soda water.
Okay.
My code name,
Mr.
Mr. Brix, because I mix well with everything.
That's so wonderful.
So welcome to the program. We are found at the
welcome.
following location on the World Wide Web. www.jmtalk.net. That's where you can find us. You can download the show. You can subscribe to the podcast, and why would you not?
Right?
You can listen live right there, and if you want, you can listen to the 24/7 stream.
How awesome is that?
Right.
I want to hear from listeners who do listen to us 24/7. I want to hear from them.
Yeah, I want to hear from them too, because that means they have no life.
Crazy.
Yes, and they have no life, and there's absolutely nothing else that entertains them on the internet anywhere from A to Z, and that's a real problem, I think. So,
oh my goodness.
Otherwise, around the world and on social media, you can find us at Facebook at JM Talk, and on Instagram and Twitter at JM Talk Radio. Plus, Sharon's on Twitter.
I am.
JM Talk Sharon, right? Isn't that what we did?
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So go over and follow her, and
just don't stalk me.
I'm trying to get her used to just posting and hooking up with some people and stuff. So, but here's what happens. So after the show drops on a Sunday, right, and we're done dinner and everything's finished and the security system has been walked and all that, then what I do is I sit down on the couch and I go,
by security system,
can I see your phone, honey? And she knows what that means.
I do, and that just means that I am posting.
That means you're posting, right?
I'm posting, correct.
Absolutely.
I guess that's what it means.
So that's how you can reach out to us. Also, you can drop us an email if you'd like at joelmahalecradio@gmail.com. So I wanted to start out tonight. I wanted to talk about the Wawa. No, not the Wawa.
The Wawa.
I'd like to talk about the Wawa down the street if they would ever get it done. But no, I want to talk about the wildfires in California again.
Ooh.
Yeah. And what I wanted to say about that, and I'll be talking about them later on the program as well in the third segment, the home stretch. But there's a lot of places accepting donations.
Yeah.
To help aid those affected by the wildfires.
Just be careful, please.
That's exactly my point. When you get out of my head for 2 seconds. 2 seconds. Can you please camp out somewhere else?
Nope. Ain't gonna happen.
What I wanted to say is, yes, what you said. Be cautious who you're donating to. The American Red Cross, for instance, and it's
reputable. They are.
I worked with them, however.
That they're reputable.
I worked with them, however.
However, what?
What you want to make sure is that it's an organization you're donating to where most of the money is going towards the effort.
Yeah, and if you can, how can you find out?
You just do some research on...
I'm just saying, me, I guess I would donate to someone who is reputable.
Yeah, you just said that.
I know I just said that.
Explain yourself.
All right.
The guy on the corner holding a sign, please donate to the mob.
Right? That's pretty reputable because he's standing right there, right in my face. No, but you hear all these people coming up with scams. Sorry about my voice. I just came from a birthday party. But these scams that these people, like, they stay up night after night after night thinking of ways to scam you out of your money.
And successful, too, because a lot of times they work.
Yeah.
So the two parts of what we're discussing here. One is you want to make sure you're donating to a reputable company that is going to make sure that the money is going towards the effort. There are some companies, okay, there are some charities where they have high, quote-unquote, administrative costs.
Yeah.
And their CEOs make in excess of anywhere from $1 to $15 million a year salary.
Right.
That's not a charity.
No.
So that's what you want to be careful of. The other thing is, absolutely, when these disasters, sad as they are, surface, so do the scammers that find ways to make you believe you're donating your money to the effort. Right. And they will send you emails and send you to websites disguised to look like the real charity, et cetera, et cetera. So you want to be careful of these things. You truly, truly do. I have
during my education, I've learned how to look at a company's bottom line.
Right.
Okay. And that is scrolling all the way down to the bottom of the web page. Okay. And you go into the company's how they act, how they interact with people. And you can find out their list of investors and so on and so forth. So I have learned,
Yeah, there are ways to find out.
So I just wanted to tell everybody that's how you find out.
Yeah,
scroll down to the bottom of the page.
And you can find out a lot just by clicking the about. I'll share something with you. I have to eat a little crow here, but I'll share something with you. Last week's Wombat of the Week, I found out the day after the show dropped. The website that was the source turned out to be a satirical website. So, and I got a couple people that really enjoyed the Wombat of the Week last week. Completely fabricated.
What?
And what I did was I went back, and because it seemed really unrealistic to me that somebody had sex with stuffed animals in a Target, so I had to really look into this.
Right.
And so I went back to the source webpage, and I went down and I hit about, and it tells you that it's satire. Now, we had 4 submissions this week for Wombat of the Week.
Right.
Okay, 2 of them, again, were satirical. So now I find myself having to hit that about button.
Right.
I mean, if it's not Fox News, NBC, MSN, if it's not one of them, I have to hit the about button and make sure that the freaking website is credible.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm delivering crap to the listeners. Not crap. I mean, it's entertaining. I love I love real fake news, like the funny world. Listen, though, like the weekly,
what?
The weekly world news, that kind of stuff.
News?
Real fake news.
Okay.
I enjoy it. I enjoy the satire news as much as the next guy, more so than the next guy. But as Sharon said, all you got to just taking a quick look at a couple things, and you can make the discerning effort yourself whether this is the company you should be putting your money to.
Right.
Okay, I do generally agree with you. The Red Cross would be a good one to donate to, and they make it easy too, right? You can actually text something on your phone, and boom, $10 out of your account to the Red Cross. So
exactly.
But
I don't want to send donations to just one place because. Maybe another place will send that, instead of just water, another place will send them, things for babies, or another place will send.
What if you made a monetary donation to one? Right,
okay.
You made a monetary donation to one, and maybe you make some physical donation of stuff, because there'll be other charities that are shipping food and water and things out for the evacuees and for the first responders.
Right.
So there you go.
Everybody says, let's go ahead and make a donation to help these poor people that have been struck by this horrific event.
Mm-hmm.
But what about the first responders?
Right.
And their families? Because, God forbid, they're pulled from their family to go put out these wildfires.
Right.
And God forbid something happens.
And which
to that family.
Later on in the show, I go really into depth with that too. I'm going to go into depth and really talk about just that, the first responders, those people that do put their life on the line. Yeah.
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 So, yeah.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
All right.
Okay. So, if you can fill a need for somebody, do so. And, and prayers to everybody dealing with that out there. So, great. I just want to start the show off by talking about that because we are coming into the season of, it used to be the season of giving.
Right.
It's the season of scams as far as I'm concerned. Now, that might be the technology manager and me talking.
Right.
But it is. So, and speaking of which, we're into November now.
I can't believe it.
Neither can I, but
I think we need to call the police.
Just as predicted, Halloween was over and bam, Christmas shows are upon us.
I just said I want to call the police.
The police? Why?
Because someone stole time from me. That's crazy.
So right away, the Christmas specials, the Christmas commercials. Today I was watching a football game, and all the retailers have their Christmas commercials up already. With the jingle, 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 and the Christmas trees and the lights and the garland. Listen, I love Christmas more so than the next guy, but there's got to be separation, right? There's got to be some sort of separation.
I agree.
It can't be you give out candy's over at 8:00, and by 11 p.m. your tree's up. It can't be like that.
Well,
Which, by the way, hold that thought. Hold on to it. Don't forget it. You're holding it. Hold that thought. I forgot last week to wish all of our listeners a Merry HalloThankMas. I forgot to do that.
Get out of my head.
Every
Gosh,
year.
Darn it.
Every year I have to wish them a Merry HalloThankMas. And I will get the graphic up on social media. I'm sorry I'm late getting that up there this year.
You want to talk about being in someone's head. That is exactly the other day.
That was the thought?
That was. It really was. One day last week, we went to one of those arts and crafts shops. We won't mention any Michael's names, but
that's right. Yeah.
And there was somebody behind us trying to get a cart, and he was like, "Well, Merry HalloThankMas."
HalloThankMas.
And she just laughed and laughed and laughed.
I'm like a mushroom. I'm a fun guy.
Well, you are a fun guy. And take it from me. But no, in all seriousness, it's getting ridiculous.
Right.
It really is.
So just judging from the time, and while we're on the subject of holiday things, and before we exit the first portion of the show, a couple of weeks ago, we had a article about people putting candy corn on pizzas and on cheese pizzas and putting them into the oven and baking them. Generally speaking, it's not that they were making. This wasn't happening at pizza parlors, as far as I could tell.
Yeah, right.
But people were buying frozen pizzas and doing this thing. So
and it's still gross.
Yeah, unbeknownst to the listener base, a listener had reached out to the show after that show and said that he was game to try it. So he did. And
and
it was every bit of disgusting as we thought it would be.
Right. I mean, he videoed everything.
Yeah, he did it on video. He ate the pizza on video. The video will be featured later on this evening.
Yes.
Well, later on after the show drops. I just give away when we're doing a show. Yes, we're late. It's Sunday. We're doing a show. So later tonight, the video will drop of our new, the self-proclamation said, culinary correspondent of the Joel Michalec Show, Sean Goward.
That is so exciting.
Yeah, it is exciting.
I was really blown away, not by the fact that he actually put candy corn on his pizza. That didn't blow me away. The fact that he's a listener and said to us, hey, here I am.
Right.
I will do this for you.
There's no better, what's the word I'm looking for? I mean, we love it. The fact that the fans want to interact, that's amazing. And not only that, the other thing that I was amazed, and I think you were too, was
other things?
Is that he was a natural behind that camera.
He was. Oh, my goodness. It was almost like he had his show on TV.
Right. So,
or should have.
So Sean
was awesome.
Sean is telling us that if there's any other weird food that needs to be tested, that's his thing.
And it really is.
So
it really is, because he was amazing.
So I don't want to give anything away. The video was it was funny. It was and it was great. First of all, it was just absolutely fantastic.
Right.
But it was very funny. I don't want to give anything away. I want you to check for it on Twitter and Facebook later on after the show drops.
You can post videos to Twitter?
I know you can post a photo, so I don't know if a photo. I'm going to find out.
I guess you will.
Listen, I self-admit that I don't know a whole lot about marketing and what I do. So, maybe a marketing expert's out there listening and they want to interact with the show.
What?
Bring it on.
Right?
We'll give you free listening hours. You can listen to us 24/7. We'll give you the special link.
For free. Come on, people.
So we will get the video posted, and you've got to check it out. And we can't thank Sean enough for doing it.
Yeah,
and we actually do hope.
So funny.
We do hope that we get some more stuff from Sean. You can also find it on YouTube later on too.
Oh, okay, but we're not promoting YouTube, are we?
We have a YouTube channel. I don't.
Oh, okay, then go YouTube.
I think it's just Joel Michalec. I mean, I think that. Yeah, imagine that, right? It's branded.
You know what? People, help me.
Don't say that you want a Sharen Michalec channel.
Help me. Everything about this show is Joel Michalec.
Featuring the lovely Sharen.
Yeah, but
have another drink.
Me. All right. Hold on, I'm getting myself a drink.
So anyway, look for that. Thank you very much, Sean Garrett, our culinary correspondent. What? It's not Cara. I got to say Cora. You call me out about water, so I say water when I have to, when I need to.
Right.
But believe this mic goes off. It's water. You're going to be getting me a glass of water when the mic is shut off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. We know who's from Philly.
Proper diction when diction is necessary.
Okay.
Okay. After that, all Johns are off.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Anyway, so we're gonna. In fact, I'm a little parched. I do need a drink, so we're gonna step out of here. We're gonna take a quick break, and when we come back, what is on the agenda when we get back?
We're gonna
find out. Yeah, we're gonna talk. Yes.
Some stuff.
Right. We're gonna talk about some stuff and some things.
There you go. Maybe a couple doohickeys.
There you go. Don't go anywhere. We're coming back right after this.
This is New York's Super Oldie Station, 920 WON, The Apple, Brooklyn, New York.
So I use my computer every day. I'm not even sure how I get along without it. But I wasn't prepared for a virus. A Trojan, they called it. One night I'm cruising along, and the next night I can't do anything. I was afraid it was going to cost me a fortune. Boy, was I surprised. They had me back up and running the same day I called them. I really like PC Tech Rescue, and you know what? My wallet likes them too.
Are you troubled by computer problems? PC Tech Rescue should be your very next call. Whether the problem is viruses, hardware, software, or any other issue, they can diagnose your problem and have you back up and running fast. With more than 25 years of industry experience, you can be sure you are getting dependable and affordable service. Call today, 484-429-6061, or email us at pctechrescue@gmail.com.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Joel Michalec Show featuring the lovely Sharon. Appreciate you keeping the podcast button here with us today. So, I saw a commercial this week several times, probably over the last few weeks, but it just occurred to me today that I wanted to talk about this. And I almost posted this on social media. I posted this little rant, and I said, no, I gotta talk.
Leave that for the show.
I want to talk about Burger King for a minute.
What?
Burger King.
You know, we used to love Burger King.
Yeah, didn't we go there recently or no? I thought we stopped there recently for something.
No.
We didn't? Okay, I thought we did.
Maybe we did. I don't remember.
We did used to love it.
We did, and
now we're at Wendy's more often because we want a good burger.
Right.
And good service.
Anyway,
but that's not what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is this commercial I saw where they have the no beef Whopper. It's the plant-based Whopper. You haven't seen this?
No.
Why am I the only one that has been seeing this?
No.
So they have this plant-based Whopper, okay? And my problem with that is, all right, it's a
veggie Whopper.
It's a veggie Whopper, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's my
You
problem.
call it a plant-based and you lost me.
That's because that's part of my rant. That's what they're calling they're calling it a plant-based Whopper. No. Okay? If it's not a beef patty, you do not you don't have the right to call yourself a Whopper.
Exactly.
Okay?
No, you can't say, here's a fruit-based Whopper. That's
yeah, you can't say
fruity.
plant-based Whopper. You're a plant-based slab. Okay?
Slab.
Yeah, you're a slab sandwich, hold the onion.
Because it's already in there.
I just don't buy into this. I'm not buying into this plant-based Whopper crap. Okay? And listen, let's be real for a second. Are you telling me that the people in this commercial... Now, first of all, I've already blew the whistle last year on the show, or the year before, in the old show, whatever. I blew the whistle on these are not paid actors. They're real people. No, they're not, because you're not allowed to do that.
I know,
The Actors Union says, no, you make a commercial, you're using an actor or actress.
Right.
So that's the rule. So you're going to tell me these people in there are like, I didn't even realize. If I bite into something that's not made of dead cow, I'll know that it's not beef. And then I'm going to take the slab off the bun and slap the employee with it for lying to me. Okay, I didn't know it was beef.
Okay, so...
I didn't know it was plant-based. I didn't know it was made of Brussels sprouts and dryer lint. What? I mean, what do they put in it?
Ew.
And if it's not beef, please tell me why when they're showing the video of them growing it, it's full of juices. Is that bird piss? What is that? I'm just trying to figure this out.
God.
I'm trying to decipher what this plant-based slab is, because I will not call it a Whopper.
Won't call it a Whopper.
And we know there can't be grease on it, Sharon, because we know vegetarians.
And they won't eat it if it's greasy.
And we know these vegetarians have come to barbecues with us, brought their own plant-based slabs, which, by the way, are gray in color.
Right.
And then they put them on a grill and nothing.
Unless they use red food coloring.
There's no sizzle. There's no sound.
Wow.
And it just goes from gray to ash. And that's how you know it's done. So that thing, that bait and switch on the commercial is not beef.
And that's exactly what it is, a bait and switch.
Right. Because guess what? Lemongrass does not sizzle and produce grease. It doesn't.
It doesn't.
It's a plant-based slab. That's what I'm going to hashtag plant-based slab, and I'll bet your ass it'll be on Twitter tonight. Hashtag plant-based slab.
Oh my God, you need to
Who are you fooling, Burger King, with your sizzles?
Right? That's a fake sizzle. Fake sizzle, Burger King.
Who's with me? I want to hear. I mean, come on.
I know.
You didn't see that commercial?
No, I really didn't.
And listen, not to drag the horse out of the shed and beat it a little more, but our son-in-law had their cheesy tots the other day, and he said there was barely a taste of cheese in them.
Ew.
I mean,
First of all, why would you order cheese? What is it?
Cheesy tots.
Cheesy tots.
Yeah.
Ew.
I told him the better thing to do would be to just get hash browns and get cheese and make your own at home.
Exactly.
You know? Because you can take them, mix a little egg with them, right? Tell me if I'm wrong.
No,
mix a little egg with the hash browns. And then you get you can buy they make the string cheese cheddar now. So you can get the string cheese cheddar and you cut a little half inch. And you put that, surround it with the potato and egg, and make a ball. And then you can fry them up in a pan of oil. Or if you have a home type fryer,
right,
with a fryer, and you make your own cheesy tots. So, you know what the problem is with fast food restaurants?
What is the problem?
The problem with fast food restaurants, lovely Sharon, is they put too much on the menus. Now, diners are starting to do this too. And when we used to watch the show with Ramsay, where he would go in and tell you what's wrong at your restaurant.
Gotcha. Gordon Ramsay.
Right. He would tell you what's wrong at your restaurant. He would always tell you you got too much on the menu. And I think sometimes I found myself looking at diner menus going, this is too much. You're trying to do too much.
Right.
You're a burger joint. You make burger and chicken sandwiches and maybe some chicken tenders.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
Stop with the plant, the whatever you want to call it, plant-based Whopper.
Right.
Plant-based. Anyway.
Shh, keep it down. Maybe children are listening.
Where?
Well, if they're up this time of night listening, I have to tell you a thing or two.
Anyway, so I just had that little rant I wanted to talk about.
All right.
But are you excited for the holidays?
All right. Y'all are going to think I'm crazy. However,
I'm not going to think you're crazy because I know you're crazy.
Hey,
there's a difference.
Be nice.
Go ahead.
I'm just about done my Christmas shopping.
I'm glad to hear that.
Right?
I am glad to hear that. As the vice president of the household, I'm happy to hear that.
Absolutely. I started in June.
Wow.
I did.
I haven't.
And then, whenever we would go to the store for whatever reason, and I see something that I think someone else would like,
right,
I pick it up.
I'm the same way.
You know that.
I'm at the dollar store getting a jar of nacho cheese, and I'm like, oh, there's a jar of relish. Sharon would really like that, and I grab it.
Wow,
so,
you're so thoughtful.
Here's
your jar of relish.
You're getting a horn of plenty filled with food. No, I'm just kidding. I haven't even started on you. But see, I'm the
only one you have to buy for.
Right. I was just going to say, get out of my head. I was just going to say, folks, this is my job really is easy. It's easy and it's difficult. And let me explain. First of all, it's easy because Sharon does take care of the kids and the grandkids. Although I did I picked out 2 things for the grandson. So
yes, you did.
And
wow,
and
first time in 8 years.
I only have to take care of Sharon. And listen, let me just say publicly, I do appreciate that. I really do. It's just been kind of the way we did things.
Yeah,
and before the grandkids, you took care of the kids. You took care of the girls. I appreciated that.
Yep.
And I only had to worry about you. Right. So that's a good thing. The bad thing is Sharon follows up Christmas 3 days later with a birthday. She is double dipping, y'all.
Is she not? Loving it.
She's double dipping. So it makes it very difficult.
And then also I have another birthday. Of which I don't get anything for it.
You get my undivided love and affection.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that.
Well, listen, my love don't cost a thing.
And that's why you give it so freely.
So I know, is that true? I'm glad to hear you're done. That's awesome.
I didn't say I was done. I said I'm almost done.
No, roll the tape back.
Roll the tape back. I said I'm almost done.
There's no one in the control room.
I'm just saying.
I'm done. See?
No.
No, that didn't work.
No, that didn't work out like that.
Well, I'm glad you're almost done.
Yeah.
You know.
I am. And I wouldn't be had I waited till this time of year to do it.
Well, that's the big trap.
I know.
You know? Anyway.
Anyway.
And plus, having to get the right thing for you, that puts me into a trap too.
I tell you every year what I want.
Right. And some years it's not possible. But anyway. So, yes. So Hallmark, or one of those flipping channels, has already started with the Christmas movies. Listen. The first Christmas movie came on the 30th of October.
What?
One day before Halloween. Okay? Now, and
on HalloThankMas?
right, and you know how this works, right? You know how this works. It's just one movie with like 30 different scripts. It's all the same thing. We have 10 original new movies this year. No, you don't.
Right.
How many times you just change the name. The Christmas jar, the Christmas truck, the Christmas song, the Christmas ranch, the Christmas tree,
shoes.
The Christmas shoes, the Christmas eyeballs, the Christmas devil. Ah!
Oh, God.
I'm going to be working on a list of like the 10 worst Christmas songs that were never made. Doesn't that sound exciting?
Oh, wow. That were never made.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, listen, a satirical list.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
Of songs that were never made.
Christmas songs that were never made.
Wow.
And maybe should not be made.
Right.
So, but yeah. So the Christmas movies have started. The Christmas commercials have started. The Christmas chatter all over social media has started.
And the stores are all decorated up.
Right. And that was like, I can only verify, because I don't go out much, folks. I can only verify 1 to 2 weeks prior to Halloween seeing the first Christmas section in a store. Because I just don't go to department stores or stuff like that, And also, for people in Delaware who are listening, Kmart's are closing some Kmart's down.
Oh, my
You
gosh.
have to be careful.
Yeah.
There's like 80% off after they put 40% markup on it. So it's not the sale's not really all that.
Oh, my. Yeah, we were walking through a Kmart that closing its doors and shutting you down, and they jacked up the prices just to put them on.
Because the 60, 70, and 80% off clothing and stuff like that, there is no way those prices.
I know.
For that one appliance that was marked down like 70%. No way. You could buy it cheaper at Macy's without a sale.
Right.
So, be careful with that. And, it's not just us. We're not the only ones that made that observation, right?
Yeah.
In Kmart, we ran into other couples who were making the same assumptions.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all you heard.
That's
when
right.
you said hi to someone. Hey, how you doing? Oh, horrible. They jacked up the prices just to
You sound like
lower
someone
them.
I know. You're sounding like someone I know there.
Who?
So, okay, yes. So be wary of that if you're visiting Kmart. And I don't know if Kmart's are closing down like all over the place, or if it's just because Sears owns them, right?
Yeah.
Maybe Sears must not be doing very good. Sears, a couple years ago, they closed down.
Kmart bought Sears.
I thought Sears bought Kmart
Yeah,
and pulled
that's
them out
what
of the
I
cellar.
thought too. And someone was like, no. Kmart bought Sears. Yep. I'll show you.
Well, being that we're in November now, we on the next podcast coming up, starting next week, we have to start talking about some Thanksgiving stuff, including maybe sharing some recipes, and even maybe we can entice Sean Goward to do a Thanksgiving video, a food video for Thanksgiving. Who knows?
Yeah.
But and then also, of course, after Thanksgiving, immediately after Thanksgiving is Black Friday and Cyber Monday. So I'd be interested to have discussion about that as well, because I wonder, as things get worse and worse out there, and so what amazes me is that people still go shopping at the rate that they still go shopping, because I don't.
Right.
Okay, I don't. I order my stuff for Sharon online, have it delivered to my work, boom, I'm done. I don't go out and face those Black Friday crowds. I know even a couple years ago you went out with the girls one Black Friday night.
I did.
Now
Oh,
I don't see you
Lord.
doing that now.
No.
But I don't know how people put up with that. I don't know how we continue to allow a holiday like that to interfere with our family time. I don't get it. So I'm interested to see,
Right.
maybe see if we can find some numbers and see just how many people are shopping versus online shopping. Because then with the growth in the online shopping industry, there has been logistical problems with a lot of the vendors, namely Amazon. There's been all kinds of logistical screw-ups with Amazon. So you have this side of it taken off, but if you can't logistically deliver your product correctly,
Right.
All
right, so back in November 17th, 2004, Kmart acquired Sears in a $11 billion, that's a billion with a B,
wow,
deal.
$11 billion.
$11 billion.
Wow.
Yeah, so
Isn't that amazing? The amount of money thrown around
I know,
while the rest of us middle class people struggle.
right?
Who was it? Somebody just Fitbit.
Yeah,
Who bought the Fitbit?
Amazon?
I don't know if it
I
was
think
Amazon.
it was Amazon.
Somebody bought Look that up real quick. Somebody bought
I am.
Fitbit for $2.1 billion. $2.1 billion. Somebody's having a really nice Christmas this year. Because that's a lot of money for the Fitbit. Now, of course, they'll probably incorporate, maybe if it was Amazon, that means they'll incorporate it with Alexa.
Yeah.
So, who was it? Do you see? It comes. You don't look on Amazon. Don't pour over me. All right, so just say, who bought Fitbit?
I'm looking.
Alexa, who purchased Fitbit? Let's see what she says. It's not helping me at all. Thanks for nothing. She told me where
Right.
they were. Who cares where they are? All right. It's a shame. It came across my timeline yesterday. I didn't bother saving it. So, but yeah, that amazes me the way those companies just, Hotmail was the same thing. Way back, I think it was 2 college kids that invented Hotmail, and they let it go to Microsoft for a pretty heavy payday. And look what Microsoft's done with it. I mean, they just throw it into the basket with the rest of their one mail thing, and done. So yeah,
I'm pretty positive it was Amazon.
Okay. Well, if you're wrong,
'Cause
someone
I was
will
like,
call you on it.
What?
Someone will call you on it.
Okay, so if I'm wrong, give us a call at 302-985. I'm just kidding.
Anyway.
I wouldn't give you my number.
Anyway, so so as we approach Thanksgiving, we'll start talking about that kind of stuff, and we'll try to stay away from Christmas. But you know what's going to start happening right now? Christmas wombats are going to start coming out of the woodwork. I recall last year I was like, I'm not going to have any wombats this time of year, and there were plenty of holiday wombats coming out of the woodwork.
Tons.
Still have plenty of them. Speaking of wombat, coming up in the next segment of the show here after the break, we have the new wombat of the week. We also have a new hero to honor, and one last thing, all coming up when we return. In the meantime, Sharon's going to say goodbye because she's going to go cook some chili.
Say goodbye.
There you go. Thank you, lovely Sharon.
Oh, it was my pleasure.
That was our pleasure.
No, it was my pleasure.
And for the rest of you listening at home, stay tuned. I'll be back with the third stretch of the show right after this.
This message is for all of you sitting in the passenger seat. And apologies if it gets a little uncomfortable, but how does it feel to be at the mercy of someone who thinks a random text is more important than your life? Someone who takes their eyes off the road while speeding along in a 3-ton hunk of steel. Freaky, right? Well, why not just ask them to stop? Or better yet, volunteer to text for them. It might be a little awkward, but believe me, you'll live.
Learn more at stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Broadcasting from a crummy little studio in Baltimore, Maryland. This is Reality One Radio.
You see why we need your donations?
Welcome back, folks, to part 3 of the Joel Michalec Show. This is what we call the final stretch of the show, if you will. Thanks for sticking with us. The lovely Sharon is off making the world's greatest chili. And I would volunteer her into a cook-off against almost anybody with her chili. So she's off doing that. And here we go with the final stretch. In this final stretch, we like to talk to nobody. I'm talking to you. That's what's going on. We talk about Wombat of the Week. We honor some heroes, and we tell you how to get involved in both of those scenarios. And if there's time, one last thing. There may not be time for one last thing, or maybe we can call this one last thing. I just want to put out there. You know what? Maybe I will suspend. We'll try to get the one last thing. All right. So without further ado, let me tell you about the Wombat of the Week, because you can get involved in the Wombat of the Week here on the program, and this is how it's done. All you need to do is send us a news story of stupid people doing stupid things. And you can send that news story to Joel Michalec Radio at gmail.com. There goes the alarm system. There goes the alarm system, folks. Relax. There is nothing to fear. That is Molly taking care of making sure we're safe here in the studio. Thank you very much, Molly. Okay, so if you want to get involved in Wombat of the Week, as I said, send a news story of stupid people doing stupid things to Joel Michalec Radio at gmail.com. You can also send that to us at wombat at joelmichalec.com. Either address will get the story in the right place, and that's how you can get your story heard or put on the Wombat of the Week. And of course, we do feel like we're going to be doing an annual winner out of all the submissions that we talked about this year on the program. So without further ado, this week is about a Kansas man who takes a joyride through his neighborhood. Not usually a big deal, right? Taking a joyride through your neighborhood. Everybody likes to do it, especially at Christmas time, to look at Christmas lights. But this guy does it on a construction excavator. Yes. Allegedly leaving properties damaged and police officers endangered in his wake. This Kansas man was arrested on last Sunday, according to officials. Shane Funk, age 46, was caught riding the large piece of machinery through the Oakland neighborhood of Topeka early Sunday morning, according to police who responded to the scene. Authorities had received the call about a suspicious vehicle. Several homes in the area were evacuated as a safety precaution as Funk allegedly rode the excavator through the neighborhood. Funk, 46, allegedly rode the construction equipment through the neighborhood. And investigators tried to stop Funk, but were unsuccessful. And so ultimately, responding officers had to shoot Mr. Funk with non-lethal beanbag pellets to get him to stop driving the excavator. Funk was treated for minor injuries and taken into custody for a slew of charges, including criminal property damage, attempting to flee police, and aggravated assault of a law enforcement officer. As of Tuesday, this past Tuesday, he was being held in lieu of $75,000 bond and other separate bonds totaling $3,000 for outstanding warrants. So as of the news time of the post, we don't know how much damage he caused, but listen, let's talk about this for a second. You're 46 years old. You should know better than to get on an excavator and go joyriding. Let's back that up a second. You're 46. You should know better than to touch something that doesn't belong to you. I'm appalled all the time at how people find it their right to touch something that doesn't belong to them and steal things, take things that aren't yours. In this case, the excavator. Who allowed you to get on that excavator and take that and do that? And I have to assume, although the story doesn't say, that there must have been drugs or alcohol involved, because when the police show up and order you to stop, what makes you not do that? I mean, we've talked about stories before, and there's all kinds of controversy of, and every time you turn around, there's the war on law enforcement, where, someone always has something to say about when police officers have to use excessive force, whether it's right or not, even when it's justified, there are people that want to make a federal case about it. And for me, it always comes back to, why don't you listen to the police officer? I have a really great idea for you. If you listen to what the police officer says, you probably won't get hurt. You probably won't have more charges on you beyond what it is you're being questioned by the police officers for, or whatever. I mean, listen, that's the way I was brought up. You respect police officers. Yes, sir. No, sir. And if you feel the police officer is wrong, that is what the court system is for. You schedule an appointment with the courts. You schedule your time in court. You have the police officer come there, and you challenge him in a court of law. But while he is addressing you, while he has you stopped, or if you're being a wombat and doing something like this, and you're told to stop, to cease what you're doing, to get down off that excavator, God damn it, you do it. That's what you do. And the chances are you don't get in any more trouble than you already are. That's what the chances have gone very high up, that you do not get in trouble beyond whatever dumbass trouble you're in now. So what did this guy get? He gets extra charges. He gets shot with beanbags, which I don't imagine feel good. I do not imagine a beanbag shot to the body feels good. I'm going to go with a big no on that one. So for whatever purpose, for whatever reason that has happened this week, Shane Funk, age 46, is the Wombat of the week here on the Joel Michalec Show. And I guess I should say thank you to him for lending his stupidity to us. And hopefully he's learned something from this. And hopefully, he becomes a better human being after that. But in the meantime, here's your crown. And so there you have it. Now, moving on, folks, to the Honor Thy Heroes segment. On Twitter, it's hashtag Honor Thy Heroes. And each week we look for the same thing. We're out there looking for heroes to honor. We're out there looking for everyday heroes. They don't have to wear a badge and a uniform. And we're looking for you to do this, to submit stories if you have such stories to share. One thing, we can go through the internet and the news sites and all and get, say, a certain amount. But the thing is, there's a lot of local small community papers out there that in a blink of an eye would honor local heroes. And they're the type of heroes, we'll take them as well. And so we can't get those stories as readily as we can, whatever really makes it out on the bigger circuit. So if you're a first-time listener, if you have a community newspaper and you have a everyday hero, uniform or not, that you'd like to have featured on the program, then you can do the same thing. Send us the link to the email. Send us the link to the news story at joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. Or you can also send it across Facebook. Our Facebook tag is at JM Talk. So there you have that. Now, basically, as mentioned earlier in the program, we were talking about the wildfires in California, again, as usual. It's a shame you have to say that, right? As usual. There's wildfires in California. Well, what else is new? I mean, it's sad to say. But what I did want to mention for the heroes this week is obviously all the firefighters and first responders that put themselves at risk fighting these wildfires. These are no joke. Fighting a wildfire is much different from fighting a house fire or a building fire, some sort of structure fire. Wind and weather always plays a part when you're dealing with a fire. Always plays a part. But what you have to realize is when that is a wildfire in the brush, in the woods, just out there, the wind and the weather affect it in a much more deadly way. And so the firefighters and the first responders that are out there trying to contain and control these wildfires are at much more risk, in my opinion. I'll add in my opinion because somebody could come out next week and have a bunch of facts, throw a bunch of facts at me about how there's no difference or whatever. But in my opinion, the stakes are higher. Imagine what wind and weather can do in the blink of an eye. In the blink of an eye. And take a building fire. If you have a building fire and it has concrete walls, at some point the fire stops. It can't go any further if it can't get past that concrete. And of course that depends also on what's burning. But in a wildfire, think of how fast you can be overcome when you're in the brush fighting a brush fire. And it's much more serious. I'm going to go with it's much more serious. And I'm going to honor all of these first responders this week who are working every day on these wildfires. And I can't point anybody out in particular. You know why? Because besides the local departments, besides the hot shots that come out, there are departments that send people from all over the country. When I was a firefighter before, we used to send people. So people come in from all over the country, different departments. That way there's some relief and there's some help. Okay? It's called mutual aid. And so from top to bottom, side to side, coast to coast, all the first responders that are in one way or the other dealing with these wildfires, I say we honor you. And we pray for you that you continue to be able to knock the beast down and stay safe from harm. It's these are the people every day who put their lives on the line. And especially out there. You're putting your lives on the line for other people, for property, for the environment. I mean, that's a tall order. That is a tall order to fill. So I say all the firefighters, police, first responders, the dispatchers, the utility companies, anybody and everybody who's involved one way or another, we honor you this week in your pursuit to bring the wildfires under control. And we wish you Godspeed on getting that done. So remember, folks, send in your stories, your heroes to us at Joel Michalec Radio at joelmichalecradio@gmail.com. I have so many email addresses. I'm ready to spew out almost every email address I have trying to do this right. Which brings me to one last thing. I'll tell you why I'm so tongue-tied. So prior to firing off the program, doing some work on the truck. It's an 03 truck, and I'm gonna say this. I find it hard to trust mechanics. I'm sorry, I do. So I like to do most, if not all, of the work myself or with friends who know more than me. And thank you very much to these friends and family who know more than me and help me out. But I like to do that. But what I'm realizing is, and I know this to be fact, I know as a fact, proven fact, that I'm not as young as I once was. That's fact. If you ever need justification of such a statement, okay, go work on your car. Go climb up and down off the ground. Slide in and out from underneath on the ground. Wearing layers so you hopefully do not get sick because the wind is blowing at 30 miles per hour. If you need validation that you are not young, go work on your car or truck. Because it hurts. I'm tongue-tied. I'm a little confused today. I'm not going to lie. I only had one cup of coffee, so maybe I'm a little cranky at the same time. And then I'm mincing words. Basically, I sound like I'm drunk sometimes, but I'm not. I promise you. And if you know me as you know me, if you know me the way you know me, then you know that I'm definitely not drunk. So, but yeah, what a pain in the neck. And here's the bad part about it. So I was working with my son-in-law on my exhaust. Here's all I had to do. The tailpipe several months ago rusted off. And then it got really loud because the muffler was coming apart. So all I had to do was take the clamp off, take the muffler off, put the new parts on. So it took 3 hours to get a muffler off and 15 minutes to put a new muffler and tailpipe on. Crazy, right? And no, before you ask or suggest or write in, it was not welded. It wasn't welded. That was one of the first concerns I had, possibly, that it was welded. It was not welded. It was just clamped. Who knows how long, though. And it was what a beast. And we beat the hell out of that muffler. That muffler is pretty much non-existent. The old one. It's just amazing what we had to go through. So actually, some other unsung heroes I should mention are the people that work in these shops. And you know why it takes you 3 or 4 hours to work on an exhaust, and it takes, say, Michalec for example. See, I'm getting words mixed up. For example, Michalec 5 minutes. Because guess what? When you go to a shop, they have all these adapters and pipes and all these different things, and they just saw through your pipe, and then they just fix it with an adapter. That's it. Things that you can't do in the driveway unless you literally have every single tool known to mankind. And although I know somebody very close to me who probably has 98% of every tool ever made, he doesn't have the other 2%. And so that's why they can do it much quicker. They're just sawing through the pipe, and they'll figure it out with an adapter and a clamp or a weld. You know? And then they charge you an arm and leg for it. You know, first of all, I mean, I got my parts at cost. You can't take your parts into a garage, folks, and ask somebody to put them on. You'll find very few garages that will do that. So you're at the mercy of having to go in with and get everything from them. And when I price the parts, when I get parts pricing from having the job done by a garage, the parts for some reason are 3 times as much money. But I get it. I get markup. I don't get fleecing. But anyway, back to my one last thing point. You need validation on how old you really are. Go work on your car. Go do your exhaust system on your car or truck. Let me know how you feel after that. Meanwhile, I want to thank everybody for listening to the program this week. We're really glad you came back. If you have anything you want to share or have shared on the program, you can just drop us a line at joelmichalecradio@gmail.com, or remember, visit the website at www.jmtalk.net. We are at Facebook at JM Talk. We're at Twitter and Instagram, JM Talk Radio. And also Sharon is on Twitter now at JM Talk Sharon. I believe that's what it is. Meanwhile, be good to each other, please. Okay, the world would be a much better place if you're all good to each other. And if you're out and about, pick up 3 pieces of trash. We'll see you next time on the Joel Michalec Show, featuring the lovely Sharon. Have a good week.